Good morning, or afternoon, evening, crack of dawn, whenever you're watching this from. It is lovely to see you. I have recovered from the dreaded Rona. It was my second bout of it, and it doesn't get any easier than the first time. It's horrific. Alas, we shall not dwell on the past because we have something very important to talk about today, and that is the absolutely heartbreaking, yet equally just as beautiful, new release from Hozier, Unknown. Now already this song had a special little place carved out in my heart for it because it made its debut on TikTok last year, September 29th to be exact, or otherwise known as my birthday. In its simplest form, this is a breakup song. It is about discovering that you never truly knew who your partner was, about coming to terms with betrayal and the difficulty in having to alter your image of someone that you trusted. But of course, we know that there are always hidden layers to Hozier's work, just like there are many layers to Dante's description of hell, which we will be travelling to the last of today, the 9th circle of hell. This last circle punishes the sin of treachery, of which there are many forms. So this circle is subdivided into 4 different sections. There is Cana, named after Cain, the biblical figure who killed his own brother, Abel, and so this is where sinners are punished for the betrayal of family. The second section is called Antenora, named after Antenor, the prince who betrayed Troy in the Trojan War. So this is where sinners are punished for the betrayal of country. Thirdly, there is Ptolemaea, named after Ptolemy, who invited guests to his house for dinner and then murdered them in his own home. So this is where people that have betrayed guests or friends are tormented. And finally, we have the last section, Judica, which is what we will mainly be talking about, named after Judas, who infamously betrayed Jesus. This is where Satan resides and where people who have betrayed their masters or betrayed God himself are punished. The interesting thing about how Dante writes Satan, and Hozier talked about this on the Zach Sang show, is he is not depicted as the ruler of hell as we might first believe, but more he is the ultimate prisoner of hell. He is incarcerate number 1. He is frozen up to his waist, trying to break free, and in doing so, he only sets himself further in this ice. Not feathered as birds' wings are, bat-like and leathery, each fanned away the air, so 3 unchanging winds moved out from him. Cocytus being frozen hard by these. He wept from all 6 eyes, and down each chin both tears and bloody slobber slowly ran. In every mouth he mangled with his teeth, as flax combs do, a single sinning soul, but brought this agony to 3 at once. Such biting, though, affects the soul in front as nothing to the scratching he received. His spine at times showed starkly bare of skin. In this depiction, Satan not only has 1 head, but 3, and is burdened with the task of chewing upon 3 very famous sinners. The left and the right mouths chew on Brutus and Cassius, and then the middle is Judas. And with that lovely context, let's dive into these lyrics. You know the distance never made a difference to me. I swam a lake of fire. I'd have walked across the floor of any sea. So there was always an emotional distance within this relationship, but he was always willing to put in the extra effort to go and meet his lover where she was at, despite her not reciprocating that same energy. The lake of fire, I think, could be a bit of a reference to the lake of boiling blood that Dante and Virgil come across within Inferno. And I think that's a cool little mirror between these stories because Dante is on a journey himself, and at the end of Inferno, going into the next part of the Divine Comedy, he meets up with his real life love, Beatrice. So ultimately going through hell is to reach Beatrice. But in this case, our character has reached that final destination and realized that Beatrice is much more like Judas. Walking across the floor of any sea also kind of reminds me of like Moses parting the Red Sea, or those sayings that we use to describe how much someone means to us and how much we'd do for them, you know, like I'd move heaven and earth for you, or I would part the Red Sea for you. Ignored the vastness between all that can be seen and all that we believe, so I thought you were like an angel to me. There's a willful ignorance here, and I can totally relate to that. There's been so many times in relationships, both romantic and platonic, where I have let things slide or, chosen to not see the truth. There's a huge gap here between what is so clearly evident and what is the image that they've decided to believe is true of their relationship. Within the context of this ninth circle, mentioning angel is quite important because Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call him, he is a fallen angel. And so we're getting all these really nice mirrors between the two stories. Funny how true colours shine in darkness and in secrecy. This is a line that's really stuck in my mind. I just think it's a really interesting point that I've sort of been meditating on. This fact that the truth of people is often revealed when that truth goes unobserved or unchecked. And there's so many scenarios you can apply that to, not just relationships. Like weeds, dark truths can really thrive when they're left untouched. And sometimes it's the easier choice to leave them untouched. And then it doesn't become clear to us that it is a problem until the weeds are overgrown and are unable to be remedied. If there were scarlet flags, they washed out in the mind of me, where a blinding light shone on you every night. Andrew is a poetic little creature, so obviously the flags couldn't be red, they had to be scarlet, which I love. One of our cats is called Scarlet. I should really do a video with all our pets. We have 3 cats, Scarlet, Tallulah, Phoebe, and then obviously the new addition of our family, Sunny, the Whippet. Anyway, this woman has been put on a pedestal. She's been worshipped, and this projected image has blocked any sort of glaringly obvious sign of danger. I think this is a trap that is so easy to fall victim to. As humans, we like to romanticize or idealize the things in our life, and you always want to believe the best in the people that you have actively chosen to love. You like to think that you have a good enough judge of character to choose these right people. So we tell little lies to ourselves to remain holding this person in quite a false regard. I would love to know how to remedy that flaw in our human design, because looking back, every friendship or relationship that I've had that has ended, I have always made concessions or made excuses or projected ideas upon someone to block what I knew was the truth deep down. And I would love to stop doing that. I would love to stop living in that pantomime that I have created for myself. It ain't the being alone. It ain't the empty home, baby. You know I'm good on my own. Shalala, baby, you know it's more the being unknown. So much of the living love is the being unknown. I find this so heartbreaking because it talks about a really deep level of love where it's not the affection or the closeness or the relationship aspects. It comes down to the very individual level of like not knowing who this person is. I'm a very solitary person. I'm good with my own company, but I've never felt more gut-wrenchingly lonely than when I have found out that someone who was currently still in my life has betrayed me. You called me angel for the first time. My heart leapt from me. You smile now. I can see its pieces still stuck in your teeth. Through words, this woman has been able to create the illusion of being truly cherished. And of course, we know that actions speak louder than words, but when you are in love with someone that deeply, words can really hold the same weight as actions. This woman smiling really hints at like a total lack of remorse, or even just being completely oblivious to the damage she has caused. Either way, her actions have just been entirely ruthless. The narrator's heart, something that is so vulnerable both emotionally and physically, has been reduced or relegated to mere fodder in someone's teeth. And that's a great mirror of obviously Satan chewing upon people. Do you know I could break beneath the weight of the goodness love I still carry for you, that I'd walk so far just to take the injury of finally knowing you. This song kind of takes us on a journey of the narrator coming to terms with the truth of this relationship. And I feel like this bridge is just like one final effort to make this work. It's like you're saying, do you understand what I would do for you? Even though I know that I will end up worse off, I still have this love for you. Our final chorus is the same, except for the final line, which reads, and there are some people, love, who are better unknown. It almost feels like we've been through the stages of grief with this narrator, and this is finally that acceptance phase. It's better to not unravel the truth of who this person is, because it's not worth the pain that that will inflict. It's easier to leave the picture of this person as much as you have already uncovered, just to stop, lay down your tools, stop digging, and just leave. It's a final act of surrender. There's an inconsistent beat at the end of this song, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but to me, that kind of symbolized footsteps, or reminded me of footsteps, and sort of deciding to leave, just turn back, return home, walk away from the situation. I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the whole thing. You know the drill by now. All comments, any differing opinions, or if you just want to expand on an idea that's been brought up in this video, are so more than welcome in the comments. I love reading and interacting with them. You guys are just intelligent beyond belief. It is truly like an enriching activity for me. If you did like this video, a thumbs up would be really appreciated. And hey, if you have a Hozier loving friend, maybe send it their way. Just an idea. If this is our first time meeting, hello, I'm Honor, and this is our little corner of the internet. We have a really nice little gang going on here, and if you would like to join us, we would love to have you. And all you gotta do is subscribe. Anyway, I shan't keep you any longer. It was lovely to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a lovely week, and I will see you next Friday.